Guys, hey, I flogged my son. I took, Toningari from the kitchen and I told him, bring out your hand, and I flogged him. And as soon as I did that, I felt like entering the ground. I went on, I went on Instagram and I called my secondary school classmate, who is now a professor of psychology in the US. She deals with children, and I called her. She was like, Nancy, you're calling me at 12 in the afternoon. What's going on? I said, Doctor, I flogged my child. She's like, okay. And so, what is going on? I'm like, well, something happened. We went out as a family, and my son did something that I had, talked to him about in the past. In fact, he had lost privileges because of that same thing. And he did it because we were outside, because he was like, oh, we're outside, mommy's not going to do anything. And I promised him, when we get home, I'm going to discipline you, I'm going to flog you. For the first time since they were babies, I consider myself a gentle parent. Compared to African mothers, I see myself as a gentle parent. I do a lot of, oh, stop that, come down from there. But when it comes to physically disciplining children, I basically do not need to, because I see that I have children that hear word. Okay. So when that happened, I felt so bad for days. In fact, after everything happened, I was like, the reason why I flogged you, right? He said yes. And he told me, you flogged me because you warned me before. You told me if this happens again. And I was like, okay, I think he understands why. But I just did not want to believe that I felt like I lost control. But, she made me understand some things that I'm coming here today to tell you. You're wondering if gentle parenting is for you. You come online, you see different people having different parenting techniques. It looks very nice, but you know your child. Because at the end of the day, nobody knows your child more than you. You know your child. You know that this thing might not work for your own child. So yeah, gentle parenting is not for everybody. Okay, she made me understand that after the age of 7, other factors come to play. It's very easy to gentle parent your children when they're less than 5. In fact, when I see people online, gentle parenting, it's fantastic when you have children under the age of 5. But now we are beginning to see that the long-term effects of this over pampering, validating children's feelings are actually making them anxious at the end of the day. We're seeing parents, especially from the West, complain about how they have become parents of people pleasers, parents of anxious children, parents of children that cannot even make any decisions for themselves, because the world is actually very rough. Out there is a zoo. It is a cabal. They are ready to eat you raw if you don't teach your children how to be firm, how to see the world, especially if you are a Nigerian mom living in Nigeria, where they outside. Okay, so gentle parenting is fantastic when they're under the age of 7, but from 7 years, you have to be very firm. This is for my Nigerian moms. I like to talk to you guys in the DMs. I love how you guys interact with me. You tell me, oh, wow, this is nice. Well done, Nancy. Your children are so well behaved. Nah, I have flogged my son recently. Yes, I flogged him with Toningari, and he cried. And I told him, you will never do that again. Do you understand me? And he said, yes, mommy. And it's been a couple of months and it has never happened again. It's not because he fears me. I mean, that's my bestie. But at the end of the day, as a parent, you have to put your foot down. Okay? You're not going to raise anxious children that will end up with anxiety. No. Your children will have a little bit of, they can change it for anybody at any time. Your children should be able to make decisions and stick to it. Your children are not going to be pushed around by other children in the future. Okay, that's why you need to be firm. That's why you don't have to raise your voice. Okay, when you say something, say it once. Right? Say it once. And after that time, you start taking away privileges. Let them know that you mean business. Like when I tell my children, go and do something, and they try to push my limits, when I come back to say it, I don't even say it again. I just do what I told them I was going to do. Because that's how you should be parenting, especially when they are over the age of 7. You see all these Western moms who are now complaining that they did gentle parenting and now their children are a diagnosis, a book of psychological disorders. Yes, I've been seeing a lot of these posts recently. In fact, I'll link a lot of them on my stories. I've seen like 10, and they're like, oh, we're trying to undo our gentle parenting. Hey, God, I beg you. It's nice when you are training children under the age of 5, right? But after the age of 5 or more, your children will have training. They'll have home training. See this home training, people are saying, oh, home training is just fear. It's not fear. Because my son talks to me, he tells me everything. But you see, when it comes to discipline, you have to understand that the laws are laws. Your society that you are living in, they have laws. You can't go about breaking laws. Like in my own case, it's a family law. You broke it. You can't go out without consequences. In the real world, you people go to jail. So we need to teach our children that out there in the real world, there are consequences. And so you can do that in a gentle way, of course, but now you know you're picking. All right. It is possible to love your children and discipline them. All right, guys. Bye.